My grandpa, Wayne McGlowan, grew up in Winterville, North Carolina. He told me it was a very small, rural town in a farming community. He attended school there. While growing up, his family was very poor financially. His mother was widowed when he was 6 months old, and she had 6 additional children at home at the time. She managed the school lunchroom to support her family. First through fifth grade, his school was just a three-story building. Sixth through 12th grade, his school was in a single-story building with a basketball gym, which was right next to his elementary building. He then attended Winterville High School, graduating in 1954. Every school he has attended was a public school. When I asked if he went to a preschool, he said there were no preschools anywhere around at the time. In grades 1st through 8th, he had one teacher for all of his subjects and remained in one classroom all day. There were no teacher aides. In high school, he had different teachers for each subject area. His school and community had a positive influence while he was in school. They had such an influence on the students that an annual Winterville High School reunion has occurred for the past 30 years for the graduates from 1921 to 1971. The high school was changed to a middle school in the year 1971. Still to this day, they continue to have close to 300 people at these reunions. In his first grade class, there were 32 students, including himself. This number remained constant throughout his schooling. There were no federally funded meals. They either brought their lunch from home or they had to buy it at school. One fun fact that he told me was that their lunches were only 15 cents when he was in first grade. When I asked him if there was desegregation in his schooling, he said that Winterville had a separate elementary and high school for black students. His schooling was in a very small rural area. One credential he received after college was his teacher certification for business courses. Also, he had many certificates for accounting and management workshops. It took him 5 years to finish his bachelor in science and 4 years for his master's in science. He received his MSBE, which was the Master's of Science in Business Education, from the University of North Carolina in Greensboro, North Carolina. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps, but after that, he did accounting for a construction company and a tobacco company. He was a field tax auditor for the state of North Carolina, a director of cooperative education at a community college, a financial officer for a community college, and an accounting services manager for a company in North Carolina. My grandma said growing up he was always very talkative in class. She showed me some of his report cards from third grade and even in high school, which were very comical. One report card said he was a great student but that he talked a lot and needed to learn when the right time to talk was in the classroom. Uncle Bob had some very funny things to say about his little brother. He said my grandpa was always excited to go to school, whether he wanted to go because of the learning or social opportunity, he didn't know. He also said that my grandpa was very smart in school, even though he got in trouble for talking most of the time. His American dream was to one day have a stable job and a wife and kids, and he achieved this goal because of his schooling. Since his mom was widowed while growing up, he got to watch her struggle to provide for her family. He didn't want to struggle, so that's why he did so much schooling, so he could then obtain a good stable job for his family one day. He did not receive any scholarships. He worked part-time during his undergraduate college years. He attended his classes during college in the morning and worked afternoons and on Saturdays. He was working full-time when he achieved his master's degree.